I'm Christine, the Gemini Stitcher, and it's official. I'm a fabric addict. Hi there, I'm Christine, the Gemini Stitcher, and welcome to my sewing space. Yes, you heard me right, I am addicted to fabrics. And I've had a busy week. This week just gone. I've been everywhere. I went to Festival of Quilts last weekend. We went to Shrewsbury from there with Steph, my little fabric addict friend. Not so little, she's a lot taller than me, but there we go. Then we went to Halifax to Sew Different to their open day. And then the last place we've been, from there we went to the Scrappage scheme. And then yesterday we went up to Shrewsbury to Fab Works to help them celebrate their 30-year celebration day. So obviously everywhere I've been, there's loads of fabric. So I've not been able to resist. Now, if you want to see what we bought at the Festival of Quilts, Steph and I tagged it on to last week's Sewing Bee critique VLOGGERBEE that we do every week on a Thursday. So we'll pop the link to that if you want to see the very beginning of our journey, which was at the Festival of Quilts. So before I confess my purchases, I'm going to tell you what I've made, or actually what I've not made this week. So I only had 3 spare days, and you can't just allocate them to sewing, can you? Life gets in the way. Horrible things like cleaning need doing, yuck. But I did get one thing made, yes, one, and it's not a garment. At the Festival of Quilts, I went to Shoot Hill, which is a printed fabric stall. They do lots of prints of beautiful images, butterflies, cute little gnomes, all sorts on squares, and they look amazing. And they also print their own fabric. So I thought rather than buy loads of garment fabrics, I was trying to buy things that were a little bit different, to do something different in my sewing space. So I bought some of their blocks, and the intention was to make cushions with them. So my little project this week has been that I've made one of the panels for the front of my first cushion, and I've got 5 of them to make. But I am really pleased with it. Now, I was going to copy the way that they'd done them on the stall, and I'll put an image up here of their cushions. But then I had a eureka moment, and I remembered that when I went to my quilt classes, I learned how to do the pineapple quilt block, and I love that block. So I've sort of hacked the block and put the panel, the print block, square, whatever, from Shoot Hill in the middle, and then done a pineapple quilt round it to create the cushion front. Are you ready? Because I'm really pleased with this. There it is in all its glory. It's got the Dragonfly in the middle, and then I've used their fabrics in the green and the heather colours to create the pineapple quilt block around the Dragonfly. So that's the first one done. That's my cushion front. I need to have a think whether I'm going to put piping around the edge of it and what I'm going to use for the back. Yeah, I think I want to use something snuggly on the back. So I might use some cotton flannel that I've got, or I've got some suede, cream suede fabric that I might use for the back as well. But I'm going to get the blocks done first. So that's the first block finished. So let's move on to my little fabric adventure. From the Festival of Quilts, Steph and I went to Shrewsbury, And we didn't just fabric shop by any stretch of the imagination. We had a lovely walk along the river. We went to the dingle. She wanted to show me there. Beautiful, beautiful garden space that was donated by Percy Thrower to the town of Shrewsbury. So the other thing that we did was meet up with another sewing vlogger. Yes, excited. We went and had coffee with Jo, who is the CRAFTY CROFTER, and I will pop a link to Jo's channel below if you want. If you don't know her already, go and give her a watch. She has an amazing vlog at the moment on how to convert your sewing table so that your sewing machine drops down into the table, which is absolutely phenomenal and something I'm actually thinking of trying myself. Watch this space. So go and give Jo a watch. So we had coffee with Jo. She knew Shrewsbury. We met her at Abercarn's, and shock horror, I didn't buy anything. Didn't buy any fabric in Abercarn's. But there was a reason for that. There is another shop in Shrewsbury, and it's a proper traditional, old-fashioned sewing shop. And I'll pop the name below because I can't remember it. But, so she took us to show us, but it was Monday and they're closed on a Monday. So I was like this, looking through the window saying, oh no, I need to get in here. But all was not lost because they opened on Tuesday and we weren't leaving Shrewsbury until Tuesday lunchtime. So winner, winner. We had a lovely day just mooching around the shops in Shrewsbury, and we went in phase 8. I like looking around the shops and getting ideas of what to make, what's trending, so I don't end up like an old lady just sewing the same things over and over. Anyway, we went in phase 8, and some of you will remember I got some of the cream eyelash fabric that was trending all over YouTube. And in phase 8, they actually had a blouse made up in that fabric. It's the first time I've actually seen in real life, wandering around a shop, a fabric that I've made a garment in, and I was so excited. So they had a blouse in phase 8. I'll pop the blouse up here for evidence. And it was £85. OMG. I think I paid a little bit more than some of the others paid. Some got this fabric from Neil's Fabrics and I think they paid about £6 a metre and ended up paying £9. But to make a blouse 1.5 metres, yeah, say 2 metres tops, £18 for my blouse here versus £85 for that one in phase 8. I know which one I prefer. So that was Monday. Tuesday, breakfast, straight to the sewing shop. Oh, it was a beautiful shop. Absolutely loved it. Really well laid out, not cluttered, loads of space to wander around. It was a dressmaker's dream. And they had quilting cottons as well. So I bought 2 fabrics from that shop. Now that's good because I'm allowed 3, so I was below my maximum that I could buy and I was happy. But at Festival Quilts I'd bought 4, so that was 6 in total on target, not overbuying on my fabrics. You get my drift. So shall I show you the 2 fabrics I bought because they are gorgeous. Yes, I bought a solid colour. And it's an aubergine, which apparently is going to be in all the shops this autumn and winter, and it's one of my favourite colours. Now this is a wool poly mix. I know polyester, but it's a mix, and I don't like 100% wool because I'm worried about washing it, and I want to make a jacket in this. It was originally going to be trousers, it's now going to be a jacket, and it's going to be the SHIMLA jacket from Itch to Stitch. But look at that. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. There were 2 floors to this shop, so we'd done downstairs and I'd already earmarked the aubergine fabric. So we trotted upstairs, and right at the top of the stairs, on the shelf, right in front of me, was the most amazing wool knit fabric. And we both lunged for it and went, oh my God, oh my God. Now, this was not cheap fabric. It was £30 a metre, which nearly killed me, I've got to be honest. But it is a wool knit fabric, and it's 80% wool and 20% viscose. Yes, you heard me, 80% wool knit fabric. It's like trying to find a unicorn, isn't it? But I found it, and it's a houndstooth as well. Shall I show you? Oh my God. Look at that. It is so soft. Oh, and it's so my colours. So it's a dove grey with a beautiful pink houndstooth on it. Absolutely made up with that. And I want to make one of the Tiffy cardigans from itch to stitch, so it'll be more like a jacket than a cardigan. Perfect for the autumn months. I think I'm going to do it without the collar because it might itch around my neck, so I'm going to do it collarless, but it's going to be the Tiffy. So that was all I bought in Shrewsbury. Then we wended our way home after lunch, and when I arrived, I had a little parcel waiting for me. The only thing I bought for quite a while online, and there was a really good reason for it. When we were at the Festival of Quilts, I saw some beautiful floral denim fabric. I had already been told about it. I resisted when you first told me, but Roy had the same fabric on his stall, but it was £4 a metre more expensive. But the good news is it meant I could get all touchy-feely with it and decide if I really liked it. And boy did I. So when we got to our hotel in Shrewsbury, I placed a cheeky order. I only ordered the denim, shock horror, from Pound Fabrics. Don't know how I managed to just order that, but I was really strict with myself. And it was here when I got home. This is it. How beautiful is that? And I want to make some of the aisle jeans out of this. It's got a little bit of stretch to it, and I was tipped over the edge when I was watching the catwalks. So this is going to be the jeans. I know it's a lot lighter colour than what they are, but the aisle jeans in this is going to fit in perfectly with my autumn wardrobe. Friday, and we were off up to Halifax, but we did go to So Different, but I'm not going to show you what I bought there today because Steph and I both bought the same fabric, and we're going to reveal it after our VLOGGERBEE and have a chat about what we're going to make with it on Thursday, so stay tuned for that one. But we also went up to the Scrappage scheme. Now, the whole of the UK knows about the Scrappage scheme now because it featured on the Sewing Bee, but we already knew about it. It's upstairs on the first floor in the same building in Farsley that they filmed the Sewing Bee in, and they featured it, which was lovely to support a local enterprise. So when we got there, it was quite busy compared to when we were there before, but that's great for the Scrappage scheme, and it didn't stop me getting some real bargains. So let's have a look what I rummaged around for and found at the Scrappage scheme in Farsley, and you might decide it's actually worth the journey. So when we walked in, we had a quick sweep around, but the first thing I spotted was they had pieces of leather, not pleather, leather. in a huge container. So I dived in, nearly fell in, but you know, I had a good look and I caved in and I bought some because I want to make one of the new Country Cow Designs bags. I can't remember the name of it, I'll pop it up here. And I wanted to make it in real leather. So perfect. Let me show you the leather that I picked up for a bargain price of £9. Look at that. Would you call that ox blood? Oh, absolutely beautiful. It's textured leather. I've got a huge piece of it. Smells divine. I mean, look at that. That is, it's going to make me probably about 3 leather bags. But I do want to make the Country Cow Designs bag in this. Now that's going to be a challenge for me. 1, it's a complicated bag I think to do, but there is a sew along. And 2, I've never sewn with leather, real leather before on my machine. But you know, it's a super duper faff, so it should be able to cope with it. If you've got any tips for sewing with leather, hit me with them. Obviously leather needles, but other than that, I've never done it before, so let me know. But I do want to get that bag made this autumn or winter. Oh, absolutely made up with that. I just can't tell you. Oh, so we're going to keep this out because I then found a piece of fabric to make another bag, a simpler bag. But look at that. How good do they go together? Fabulous. I'll just pull this fabric out because what did I pay? £2 for this. And it's quite sturdy, but look at that. That's going to make an amazing bag, or 5. But the one that I want to make in this is a Mrs. H bag. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put the image and the name there. And when we met Jo in Shrewsbury, she had this cute bag, crossbody bag, good size, looked really interesting, had a slanted panel on the front for the flap, and she said it's an easy pattern and you cut it all out in 1 piece or 2 pieces with the leather on top. And I thought, oh, nice easy bag pattern that looks stunning. I'm having some of that. So that's what's going to be made out of this, and a little bit of my leather, that Mrs. H bag, and we'll see how I get on with it. But loved that. £2 made up. So you all know, or you should know, that I am quite partial to a bit of leopard print or animal print. And they had some packs. Now these have got the paper stuck on the back, but just to iron them with some greaseproof paper to release the glue and peel it off. It's easy enough to do. And they come in a pack. This pack cost me £2. Now the first one isn't really usable because it's got bits of the animal but chopped off. Don't know what I'm going to do with that. Let me know if you'd use it and what for. But then the rest of them, oh gorgeous. Look at that one. Oh, gotta love that. And they all blend together because they're the samples out of the fabric sample book. And that one. Oh, now they're only going to make little bags unless I do some quilting with them all. Oh, I could do, couldn't I? Oh, the mind's working now. Look at that one. Now these all measure 66 by 38 centimetres, so they're not a bad size. And then that's the last one. So I got those for all those for £2, and I'm going to use them for bag making. Don't know what bag. I do want another Harrelson crossbody bag, so I might use some of it to make one of those. That'd be really smart, wouldn't it? And then we'll have a see I might make one of those Mrs. H bags as well, but definitely going to make some bags up in that fabric for the bargain price of £2. Then the only other thing that I got was a load of buttons. We're going to whiz through these because, you know, this vlog's going to be miles long otherwise. There's 5 in there and I paid £1.50 for those. Huge buttons. There's 8 in there of those and they cost me £2, and I got those in cream as well. And then I got some loose buttons in a beautiful green colour, and I think they were 15p each. So I got 6 of those in case I make a jacket in green, because you never know, do you, when you're going to need a button. So that was Friday, amazing day. And then I had Saturday to recover. Then on Sunday, we headed back up the M62 to Shrewsbury. Well, we didn't do the M62 there. Steph took us the scenic route, which was lovely. And took a little bit longer, but the scenery was amazing. So we went to Fab Works in Shrewsbury. They were celebrating 30 years of trading, which was lovely to go and help them celebrate. They had some great bargains, so it would be rude not to buy something, wouldn't it? I only bought 2 fabrics and 2 pieces of lining. So I don't class lining as part of my stash because they're haberdashery items, the things that you need to finish a garment. So 2 fabrics bought, and I love them both. They're both on my autumn winter makes list, which is brilliant. So I've not deviated. I could have been tempted by lovely fabrics. They have amazing wools there, 100% Yorkshire woven wools. I resisted. So let's see what I did buy. So this is the first fabric that I bought. It's 80% wool, 20% poly, and I bought it to make some trousers, and it's got, I don't know if you can see the stripes, it's got quite wide woven stripes in it that go across the grain. I'm going to make trousers. I'm going to go rogue and I'm going to cut them out across the width instead of down the length like you meant to. I'm sure they'll be fine. £16 a metre. I'm absolutely made up with this because I've grabbed the aubergine that I'm going to make the SHIMLA jacket in, and voila, dark aubergine jacket, beautiful heather coloured trousers, outfit, perfect. Lightweight but warm because the heavy wool content in them, and they're gonna look stunning together. I cannot wait. So the trousers are probably going to be either the Mitchells or the pearls. I'm kind of bordering towards the pearls at the moment, which because I think it will show the stripes off better, but let me know, Mitchells or pearls. Oh, loving it. So that was fabric number 1. And I just want to show you quickly, look, how that can go, the trousers can also go with my Chanel cardigan that I'm going to make. So it's all coming together really nicely. So because I'm doing the dark aubergine fabric as the SHIMLA jacket, I got some of their, it's called Cravat is the brand of lining that they do, and it is the best lining fabric in the world, bar none. So there we go, SHIMLA jacket, lining, look how they go together. Oh, I'm buzzing with that. Everything is working out really, really well at the moment. So I bought a lining. And then that was it for me. Went, put my bags in the car, went and had a chat with the girls, and we decided we needed to have one last little swoop around before we left for Bennett's eggs for lunch. So when I went back in, I found the perfect fabric for my trench coat that I want to make. I want to make the ACARA trench coat. There's the image of it. I didn't want to spend ridiculous money on the fabric because it's a complicated make and I didn't want to get upset if I ruined it. So I'd searched around and, you know, for the fabric I wanted, we were looking at £20–25 a metre. Shock horror. And I probably need about 2.5 metres of it, 3 metres maybe. So it was a bit of a big commitment. And I was humming and hawing what to do. But Fab Works came to the rescue. Look at that, how gorgeous a colour of green is that? Is it olive? Is it? It's an olive green, that's what I'm saying anyway. It's a wool poly twill fabric. Now this is a seconds fabric. Every so often there is a little mark on it. We struggled to find it, but there must be something there. So this was £8 a metre for a wool poly twill fabric. It is absolutely, oh, gorgeous. Feels nice. Could happily make a pair of trousers in this if I've got any left, but it's earmarked for my ACARA trench coat from Itch to Stitch. Cannot wait to get started on this now. So I paid for 3 metres. I think I ended up with about 3.5 metres because she gave me extra just because there were marks on it and she didn't want me to struggle, which was really kind because it was marked down anyway because of the marks. But oh my goodness. Now I'd seen this before on the website at full price and I think it was about £15 a metre, and I hummed and hawed about buying it. It's actually the fabric that's used for military uniforms, so it is gonna be really hard wearing, really good quality. So I am dead chuffed, and because this is faulty, I got it for £8 a metre. Perfecto. So of course I had to get the lining, didn't I? Rude not to when you're somewhere that sells cravat linings. Now I know trench coats can have a check lining, they can have a cotton lining in them, but I wanted a beautiful cravat lining, silky lining inside mine, and look at those together. Perfect. I am so made up now. So I'm getting myself a beautiful trench coat that is, if I used all this fabric, so altogether all this fabric has cost me £42 for an 80% wool twill trench coat. I am absolutely over the moon. Thanks Fab Works. So you think that'd be it, wouldn't you? No. Sharon came with us and she very kindly bought Steph and I a raffle ticket, and the raffle ticket were for boxes of fabric. So I'll just show you the box that I won. Here it is. It's nearly as big as me. And hopefully I'm going to balance it and show you what's inside. So there we go. I've got oodles of fabric in this. So I've got a bundle of larger wool check remnants. perfect for bag making, so they're gonna get used. And then I've got one, so there's loads of those, some smaller pieces as well there. Oh, it's all falling out. But then I've got a big piece of this gorgeous, super soft wool fabric, and I'm gonna make myself a new winter jacket out of that. So absolutely made up with that. Thanks, Sharon, really appreciate it. And what a good idea for them to do those boxes as raffles. And unlike a normal raffle where, you know, tombola, sorry, where you pick your number and you might not win a prize, apparently every number won a prize. So, you know, it's worth buying the ticket because you knew you were going to get a box, but you didn't know which one you were getting. I looked out. I got all the wools in mine, perfect for my autumn winter plans, and I'm itching to get making things with these. So after all that fabric buying, I've seriously got to start making, haven't I? Get that sewing machine flying sparks off it to keep my stash down. So I'm planning on going forward just trying, because I didn't do any garments last week, 2 garments this week. If I do more, it's a bonus, but I'm committing to 2 a week for the foreseeable. So this week and the next few weeks, we're going to be working through the end of my summer sewing because it's still August. All those fabrics were bought for autumn and winter, but we're still focusing on summer at the moment. So I want to make 2 garments and they both go together. This is the cream or oatmeal striped linen that I bought from Boys. Back when we went to Ripon in June. I was originally going to make Mitchell's with it. I'm pulling myself, they're quite a meaty make-our Mitchell's. So I've decided to make a pair of the Pietras. And by making the Pietras, because they've got the seam down the middle, I can have a little bit of a play with the stripes and maybe do horizontal stripes down the middle and vertical at the side or whatever, just to have a little bit of a play with the stripes as well. Because if I made the Mitchells, they'd be very nice, but I wouldn't be able to play with the stripes because they're all one panel out of this beautiful cream stripy fabric. And then because we're coming into autumn and it starts cooling down, I'll still wear these because I've got some cream French cherry that can go with them. And I want to make one of the Junon tops. There's the Junon. It's an amazing top. I've made it as t-shirts a couple of times, never made it as a sweater. So that's what I'm planning with this beautiful plain cream French terry. Again, I got it from Boys. So I want to make the one with the cable panel down one side, and I'm also going to put the strip detail down the other side as well. All in cream. Keep it simple, keep it classy. So they're going to get made together, to go together. And because this is a warmer top, I'll be able to wear it in September, maybe even October, when we get sunny days. And I think they're going to look great together. So that's my plans for this week. I hope this hasn't been too long a vlog. There's been a lot of information and a lot of buying in there. So I'm not apologising for it. So I've got my pad. What I'm doing is every month, on one side I'm writing the fabrics down that I've bought, and on the other side I'm making sure I do all my makes. And I'm trying to make more than I buy to try and get my stash down a little bit more by the end of the year. So yes, I've bought loads of fabrics and we're only on the second week in August. I've bought 11 fabrics, but I've been to a lot of places. I've only bought one of them online, so 10 of the fabrics have all been bought in person, which I'm really pleased about. And that's it now. The next time I go fabric shopping isn't going to be until October, when we go on our sewing retreat. So I've got a fair few weeks to get this balance done. So I need, by October, the 9th of October I think we go, I need to have made at least 11 garments. So perfectly doable. And then I can buy some more yummy fabrics when we go up to the lakes. So they're the 2 garments I'm making this week, fingers crossed. I do know I keep saying I'm going to make the Freya pants. They are on my plans for August. But I just fancy sewing in cream this week, so that's what we're doing. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed coming on my little sewing buying trip with me. I will be back on Thursday with the lovely Steph, where we're going to critique episode 5 of the Great British Sewing Bee, and then at the end of the critique we'll be revealing our So Different fabric that we purchased and talking about our plans of what we're going to make with that gorgeous fabric. So don't miss that, and I will see you all on Thursday for Sewing Bee shenanigans. Bye guys.